All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a truth that every modern business needs to get its head around. Adapting isn't optional anymore. It's about survival. We're going to break down how using technology and creating genuine inclusion aren't just nice-to-haves. They're your #1 competitive advantage for building the workforce of tomorrow. You know, in my work as a DEI consultant, I hear stories like this constantly. A brilliant, dedicated professional just stuck. They're hitting these invisible walls, getting tangled up in old-school processes, and feeling like their talent is just going to waste. And this isn't just one person's bad luck. No, this is a symptom of a much, much bigger problem.
And what that problem boils down to is this: stagnation. So many companies are still trying to run on an operating system that was built for a world that frankly doesn't exist anymore. That person's story? It's a direct result of that failure to evolve. It's a flashing red light that the old ways are completely breaking down.
And what's so fascinating here is the massive clash this represents. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got the old way, rigid, top-down, and moving at a snail's pace. And on the other, you have today's reality, connected, lightning fast, and incredibly diverse. They just don't mix. It's like trying to mix oil and water. It's just not going to work.
And when that gap between the old model and the new reality gets too big, well, that's when things can get really ugly. The source material brings up McDonald's, a huge company that actually faced lawsuits over alleged discrimination against indigenous and ethnic American franchisees and executives. And this is the point, right? This isn't some theoretical risk. This has real-world legal and financial costs that can absolutely hammer a brand.
And the human cost, well, it's just staggering. A recent study found that 84% of employees from diverse backgrounds have felt aggression in the workplace because of their identity. I mean, just let that sink in. The vast majority of your diverse talent is trying to do their best work while navigating a hostile environment. Think of the drain on morale, on productivity, and, of course, on keeping your best people.
So, the big question is, how do we get out of this trap? Well, the solution is something I call the agile inclusion advantage. And it's all about using technology, not to replace people, but to build a workplace that's more responsive, more equitable, and yeah, truly centered around human beings.
And look, this isn't some high-in-the-sky theory. It's a practical, hands-on strategy built on 3 solid pillars. First, using tech smartly for hiring and development. Second, making sure the tech you use every single day is accessible and inclusive for everybody. And third, and this is so important, actually building your strategy with your people, not just handing it down to them.
Let's kick things off with hiring. And we're not just talking about using a robot to scan resumes. No, we're talking about really smart AI that can read your job descriptions and flag subtle, biased language you might not even realize is there. It can strip out names and other identifying info from resumes, so you're only looking at pure skill and potential. It's about leveling the playing field before the game even starts.
But okay, getting diverse talent in the door is just step 1. The real challenge, the thing that really matters, is how we use our everyday digital tools to make everyone, and I mean everyone, including employees with disabilities, feel like they truly belong.
And this right here shows you exactly how. It's about being intentional. Is your software actually compatible with screen readers for your visually impaired colleagues? Can people adjust the interface to cut down on sensory overload? You know, modern tools like Slack and Teams, they have quiet mode features that can make a world of difference for neurodivergent team members. And visual tools like Asana or Miro, they create clarity that helps absolutely everyone.
All right, so let's get into the real world. Let's see what this actually looks like when companies get it right. We're going to check out 2 organizations that are putting these ideas to work and seeing some amazing results.
So first up, PwC. The source material talks about them doing deep dives to understand their company culture. Well, in today's world, a company like that can totally supercharge that process. Just imagine using AI to analyze thousands of anonymous employee comments from surveys and internal chats. You get a real-time, totally unbiased pulse of your organization, which lets you build strategies that solve the real problems.
Okay, now you have to hear about Nisi Australia. They're a fantastic blueprint for this whole idea. They're in the super competitive tech world, and they've strategically made diversity and inclusion a core part of their business model. It's how they win. And it all starts right here, with their values. See that? Collaboration and innovation, right there at the center of everything. They get it. They understand you cannot have true innovation without genuine collaboration, and that just isn't possible unless your environment is inclusive.
And here's the genius part, how they bring those values to life. They use agile workflows, things like sprints and daily stand-ups. They break massive projects down into small, clear tasks.
This structure is so powerful because it lets talent from all over the map, from their indigenous programs, employees with disabilities, plug right in, contribute from day one, and really show what they can do. So, does it actually pay off? You better believe it. Get this. NEC reported an $8.8 million saving every single year, and that came mostly from people not leaving and not calling out sick. That's the power of belonging. When people feel valued, they stay and they show up.
And it's not just about saving money either. They saw a 70% increase in output at their Asia-Pacific plant, and that happened in just 4 months. That is what happens when you unlock the potential that was sitting there the whole time. And the cherry on top? A 34% jump in delighted customers. Of course, because when your team actually reflects the real world, you're so much better at understanding and serving that world. This, right here, is the undeniable return on investment of doing inclusion the right way.
So what's the bottom line here? Look, the choice between sticking with the old ways and adapting is not really a choice anymore, is it? It's a question of survival. And the cost of standing still is getting higher every single day.
I mean, let's be blunt. If your organization doesn't evolve, you are not going to be able to compete. You will not attract the next generation of top talent. They simply won't work for you. And in this hyper-connected world we live in, a bad reputation for how you treat people spreads like wildfire.
And really, it all comes back to this one powerful idea from the source material. Diversity isn't a problem you have to manage. It's not a box you have to check. It is your single greatest asset. It's your superpower for innovation, for resilience, and for growth.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question, and I want you to really think about it for your organization. The future of work? It's already here. It's agile, it's inclusive, and it's powered by tech that serves everyone. The only question left is, are you built for it?